Your Matt Harvey thoughts, presented by Cheapo Air. Mary chimes in on Facebook. Either he's with us or he's against us. If he doesn't have the heart to play for this franchise, unload him and his attitude. And I have news for you. I agree with Mary. I think it's harsh, but I think it's accurate. As I said earlier, I've been fooled way too many times by Matt Harvey. He's not the pitcher that he once was. Look, we want to give people the benefit of the doubt. You want a guy like this to reclaim where he was and become that great Met that we got so used to. But I understand Mary's frustration, and I understand her doubt. And I think Matt Harvey would understand it too. As I said earlier, hopefully he uses it as fuel for his fire to get better. But if you want to get rid of Harvey, and they could send him down. I mean, if they wanted to, and they could delay his option year. There's a lot that could happen here. The Mets already suspended him 3 games. I don't think that's going to happen, but the Mets taught Matt Harvey a lesson with the suspension. If he comes back and does, as Terry said, what he says, then he'll be in good shape.
You hope that they taught him a lesson, and you hope that he learns a lesson. I understand where Mary's coming from. Believe me, I was there yesterday, but I think you need to give him another chance before you just all of a sudden say, look, he does need to prove it. There's no question about it. I believe he is going to go out there and show it and do it and prove it, but I could certainly understand the skepticism amongst Mets fans. Miss Met Susan tweeted, tremendous potential hindered by injury, attitude, and work ethic. Needs to prioritize where the game fits into his life. Right now, it's low. I mean, Susan, you nailed it. I mean, that's exactly right. But I think Harvey understands that he hasn't been prioritizing baseball first. Look, you have to hope that he understands it, because if he doesn't understand it, it's over. This is it for Matt Harvey. It's certainly it for Matt Harvey with the Mets and being that superstar. He's got to know that this is rock bottom. He has to go out there, prioritize baseball. Forget about the nightlife. That stuff will come. You're young. You get plenty of years to do that. Do it in the offseason. You got to prioritize baseball, because that is your career and your livelihood. And I hope he gets that.
Yeah, Susan's dead on. Terry Collins agrees with her as well. She said Matt Harvey needs to make baseball his priority. When he does that,
Miss Met Susan, by the way.
Thank you, Miss Met Susan. When Matt Harvey does that, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. But he has to have that laser-like focus on the game. Look, we know what it's like being in the city, okay? There's a lot of tempting stuff to do. But you have to focus on your day job. You got to make sure that you're doing that, and then you get to reap the benefits like you and I do all the time.
What kind of stuff is there to do in New York City at night?
Bob on Facebook wrote...
John, what do you do? Don't you have to be up early for your other job? Come
on some days. If this happened 20, 30 years ago, it wouldn't even be news beyond a day or two. As long as he gets healthy and performs, it will fade away soon enough. You know, Bob on Facebook, I'll use the full name, makes a really good point here. This isn't 20 or 30 years ago where I'm sure guys probably didn't show up for certain games. There was no social media craziness. There was no focus on every movement that a player made 24/7. I get that. In terms of the health, though, yes, it's affected Harvey, but you know what? A lot of guys get hurt, and a lot of guys come back from it. And when you do come back from injury, talk about focus, you got to have 110% on getting back on the field in top condition. I think Harvey got back, but I don't know if he's ever been 100% like he was before he got hurt, Sal. So I think Bob on Facebook is right about a couple of things. It's not that day and age. It's a different world. And now Matt Harvey has to show all of us 24/7 that he wants to be a New York Met.
Yeah, I get it. I don't think he has to show us 24/7. I don't think it's fair to compare the different eras 20, 30 years ago. I do think if a player was out partying till 4 a.m. and didn't show up for work on Saturday, or whatever the day may be, it would be an issue. 20 years, 30 years, 4 years, whatever. Now, maybe we wouldn't know about it, but they would police it within the team. You can't do that. It's disrespectful to the organization that employs you, to your teammates, and of course the fans. Now, I'm sure that that's happened plenty of times. 86 Mets, whoever it may be. A lot of teams had guys, Mickey Mantle back in the 50s, whatever it may be. They go out there and party, and maybe we didn't hear about it, but I guarantee you that they police themselves within the organization. Now, the thing is that it gets out in the public, which makes it, I guess, a little bit of a bigger issue.
The difference, though, Sal, is you did hear about it, but those guys showed up the next day and hit 3 homers or threw a 2-hitter. Yeah. They didn't decide to skip it because they had a migraine. Big difference in generations there. All right.